What's up, yins guys? Time for another video. I'm gonna cover a topic I've been meaning to get around to. This does lead to the topic of, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the controversial subject that people have a couple different attitudes about gang stalking. What leads to it, to my opinion, I would categorize this as a type of identity fraud, and that you can argue that's why you would get gang stalked or whatever. And well, even if authorities were watching you, I particularly think you don't got nothing to worry about because they're not exactly stupid. And if you're like me and you had any relatives that were dope heads, unfortunately, that's what most of this is about. And I don't know, part of the far leftists out there that look at me and turn up their nose, they may have relatives like this. I think since they're so liberal and leftist and liberal racially and in every single way, they have relatives like this. I guess I'm assuming they sit there and take it. But anyway, people both, black and white, I don't care what color you are, you have relatives like this. And this is about mostly identity fraud. There's a part of it that I ain't even going to waste time in this video talking about the part you already know. But I'm going to talk about the other part that, okay, if they can't commit identity fraud by obtaining money, there's other ways to do it. Identity fraud isn't always about money, and the liberal leftists and the so-called social workers and everybody who coddles crackheads and meth heads and dope addicts, they all hate you. And they don't want, if you have any sense of self-esteem, they hate you. And they want you to be down with them. And if they can't steal your money and steal your identity with the classic definition of identity fraud, they will use your name nefariously to bring you down a notch and bring themselves up a notch, and or whatever too. Or if there's anything that looks like some kind of valor, not that you want valor, they'll steal that too, and they'll do it in a passive aggressive way. And there are people who coddle them, go right along with it, will go behind your back or right to your face and bring you down a notch and bring them up a notch, because after all, it's not fair. You're selfish, and you should be down with them, and you have anything, you should automatically give it up. If they can't get money, especially if you have relatives somewhere, like say me, I had a cousin, or if you have cousins, and right, and your aunt, which is that cousin's mother, you got relatives that come around. Anyway, if you got like people where that you had some dopehead relative that they have all these friends, and that relative or their friends have a seething mind and they're jealous of you, they actually know about this and let this shit happen, because they're like, oh, it's not fair. In their own mind, they'll be acting nice to your face. And oh yeah, and if you have some relative that comes to your house that's related to a person like us, a cousin like us, it can be their mother or whatever, say they don't come around every day, they only come around certain times when their conversations gear into finding out all your business. And there's a thing about telling any relative, don't volunteer anything, don't keep it secret, you don't want to be paranoid, but there should be a red flag where they're trying to get you to talk about your whole whereabouts, what you do, or everything about working about yourself. They don't really care how you are. There's a vibe about them. Anyway, if you have a first instinct, there's something about a vibe about them that ain't right. That something is kind of off and odd. I don't want to say there can be cases where they don't come around. They only come around when they want to know shit. It's geared toward that. Or they can come around every single day for a while, and then stop all of a sudden and come back. pattern behavior and change the pattern. Something's up. But anyway, even though, say, if they always have the police after them, and God knows who, whatever is after them, I'm not going to go into the natural things, the common sense that everybody in the world knows about identity fraud. I'm taking the money part out of it. But yeah, if it's to get money, they do that too. But that relative that's on crack or on dope, here's what the subject is about here. If they can't get money or get any kind of credit cards in your name like they typically do, get things with credit cards in your name, buy shit with the credit cards, so that stuff ends up in the pawn shop somewhere or whatever the hell, so they can get money for drugs. Putting that aside, if they cannot do that and get away with that, here's what they like to do. And they do this whether they can use your name and identity to get money or not. So this video is not about that. It's about the other parts of it. That relative having a seething mind, you might know him out there. Oh, he's doing rehab because the law and the courts forced them to. They come to the house. They were always jealous of you when you were in high school or something, and they had all these friends, and they went to these parties, and then, oh yeah, these ones, they'll go to these parties and all that, and they're the cute one. And I have a relative right now that don't look at me. They don't look like me. They have sometimes blonde hair, blue-eyed, dressed real nice. They're dating yuppie chicks, even though they're not a yuppie, because he's so cute. And when they find out about the shit, they're the partiers. So when they find out, even these friends find out about this shit, they defend it, they lie for them, and give you dirty ass looks. But anyway, what these people like to do, they'll be nice to your face, act like you're going in rehab or whatever, and they're not. And what they do is they'll act nice to your face, but they have a seething mind. You know, if anything good you did in life somewhere, you're doing well, or you got a reputation for something good, they want to, it's almost like being in the military and stealing valor. You can categorize it that, say you were never in the military and you're envious of the military and you want attention, the stolen valor thing. Not that anything you do in your life is any kind of valor, but you got a reputation for anything good. And they're the relative that's maybe their mother or even their friends, especially if they are liberal in nature, or if your cousin's mother, which be okay and on, they're the kind of types, liberal types, oh, that's my baby. Or it could be your own mother and the crackhead sibling. They want to distribute credit and not, I don't want to say credit, they want to distribute aspects of your reputation, almost like they want to take money and distribute everything evenly, reputation wise. Yes, they want, if you won't self-degrade a little bit, they'll do it for you. Self-degrade right in front of your face or behind your back, bring you down a couple notches while bringing them up a couple notches. Like, you know what I mean? Even though they were a worthless piece of shit by their own choice, and they were reaping what they sown. Hey, I had this cousin of mine, I think 2 years ago, I heard from my brother, rumor has it, that, he died and OD'd, you know what I mean? That's all I know, but yeah, you get those kinds. It's, yeah, they're the people on that dopehead side of the family or whatever. When you and them were kids, they were the cute one, right? You'll have the females in your family, the aunts and the nieces and the cousins, to be so cute, compelled to give them things. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. He's so cute. Then when you get older, they make these friends. It's not people that look like me or even scummier than me, or aren't always the ones. Well, they look like that way when they end up homeless in the streets on dope, right? But it ain't always somebody that look like me, and it ain't always because of your color. But if you're black and you're watching this, you'll have that sibling. You'll have, oh yeah, you got that I always say there's more white people out there that have the crackheads in their family that get away with shit because they're the cute one, everybody lying for them. I don't know for sure. There's probably more white in there, even though I'm not into that race race baiting bullshit, right? But there's a few of them. I don't know how many, but yeah, black people do have that one where you have that they have black people have a family member that's the crackhead or whatever, and then you got the one person that's black in that family that's doing well, and then members of the family, maybe he was a cute one or whatever, or them members of the family that are almost with him, they want to redistribute everything evenly, bring you down a notch, pick him up, lie for him and all that. And even they'll even tell you, make excuses. Hey, baby, been in and out of jail. They got a seething mind. It'll come out in jealousy in so many passive aggressive ways that, ew, you don't have no empathy and you're selfish. And then they say, oh, it's people like you that whatever that crackhead is like that. You won't ever help him when he's drowning. For example, I was actually sitting in a restaurant one time in public places somewhere, me with my long hair and having a good paying industrial job out of minimum wage in Western Pennsylvania when I had it for like back then. And they know about it, and you'll see somebody, they'll show up somewhere and with a seething mind, their girlfriends or something, that all their girlfriends, ex-girlfriends that are their friends, that have of girls and women, which is the mothers of their girlfriends too, coddling this crackhead relative, and they'll come to you telling you off how selfish you are and how you never help anybody out when you never help anybody else when they're drowning. Yeah, let me say that again. Oh, they'll say it. Oh, you won't help anybody else when they're drowning, okay? And you got some money, and you're so selfish. You never went to visit him in jail, and you're walking around with all your stuff, your whatever the hell. You never did this and that. What a practically tell you what a scumbag you are, living your own life. And try to indicate to you that you should feel like shit for having anything, and of course, you even get laid off and then be down for a while and back up. They're listening for the gossip, looking for you to fail too. But anyway, these people, even their friends, they actually will allow this too because they have a seething mind and jealous of you. It could be, oh, it's their baby, it's not fair, you're doing well. How is this possible? Like they were giving money to that crackhead relative, and you should be too. You should be just allowing a soul-sucking leech, like a few of them like you see on Dr. Phil. They'll even have articulate reasons defending who they are or whatever too. But yeah, you have a lot of these relatives that they like the cute one, and they coddle them and they make excuses for them. They were a cute one when they were younger. Then they're getting in all this trouble. They're making excuses for them. They're trying to help. It starts out, they may have some good intentions. They're trying to help them, right, or whatever. But then when it's a failure, they'll go and give you dirty ass looks. They're coddling somebody who was literally making suckers out of them and conning the shit out of them. And they don't want to just concede and admit that they've been had. But there's eventually, after a bunch of years, some of them will distance themselves from the dude or whatever. But even when they do, they don't even want to outright admit, if you run into them, they don't want to outright admit that they were wrong. They don't want to admit that they ever been had. And during a whole course of this person's existence, they sowed what they reap. All this person that they had everything invested in, and while they're giving you dirty ass looks, they're literally will give you dirty ass looks, like you heard somewhere that their efforts failed. Hey, it's not their fault, it's the fault of the person who never even tried. And they make it look bad for any addict out there that actually did recover and never went back to it. But see, that's another thing. I do a separate video on this. Uh, not all addicts are victims. Some of them, they don't even want to, they only do what the courts force them to do, and they defend the behavior. They feel they're being oppressed by police and the court system. They have a right to get high. And if you don't coddle them, they're their own culture. Well, anyway, if you're some addict somewhere that never went back and recovered, and you want to be offended, before you decide to be offended and you see any part of this video, if you got this far in this video, people like a cousin that I had, okay, he's that guy that maybe would be in your rehab somewhere that maybe a lot of you don't want to be anywhere near, because he'll take you down with them. Yeah, I mean, I had this cousin of mine that's like that. He wouldn't hesitate. He'd think it's funny. He'd take you down with him, and then throw you under the bus, or throw you to the wolves, or not always, just not even throw you under the bus or to the wolves. He'll kind of leave you to the wolves, or not warn you when the bus is about to run you over or whatever, so he gets away. Slightly nudge, not exactly throw you under the bus, sometimes nudge you under the bus, or already planning to leave you to the wolves, like that. You got them kind. I had new people in passing that I worked next to that got out of rehab and they never went back, and they got in a conversation. Few of them knew about this shit. Yeah, I said to them, yeah, my cousin was that guy who you would talk about that you don't want to be anywhere near, because literally they know their days are numbered. You get them out there. You sound insensitive, but that's the truth. They know their days are numbered, so they're looking to take whoever they can down with them. And they know, everybody who coddles them, they're just a tool. And you know what I mean? But anyway, if they can't steal your money or your stuff, yeah, a lot of them actually hang together. Or these addicts too, they're the party lifestyle. If you're a goody two-shoes or Christian or whatever, or if you're not even religious, you're one of them types that, you're too high and mighty to get high with us. They're nice to your face somewhere and see you in passing. They tell each other it's okay to go burglarize your shit if they can get into your apartment or house or whatever, or get some kind of document where they can use your social security number or get credit card. They think that shit is okay to do that. They think it's okay to do that to people who are not in their partying lifestyle. You got them everywhere. They were like a cousin of mine. Or you got, if similar to a cousin of mine, they typically, some of them will look like me, unfortunately, and some of them are blonde-haired, blue-eyed, date yuppie girls, and they're in because they're so cute, and they'll be still living with their parents in a room in their parents' house when they're 20s, pushing 30, and never hold a job, and then the only friends they have, some of the friends they have that think they're so cute, are younger people and teenagers, and they have all these friends because they'll furnish liquor or in cigarettes to them underage. Yeah, you get some of them like that too, if they don't get all their attention by being a cute one. If they're not a cute one, what they do too. Yeah, I had former co-workers that had a relative like this. They're not a cute one by any means, but the only friends they have are people who are friends with them because they're under 21, underage, and furnish liquor and cigarettes to minors. So even whether you like the police or not, the police are right by actually scoping out these people, even though they're on the fine lines of violating their constitutional rights. Or if you have a neighbor that's like that, That's why I don't engage in behavior like this, because somebody like me, even with my hair a little long, even gray and more balding now, uh, I don't want that hassle. I would rather do something decent with my life or whatever, because it's not worth living a certain lifestyle where your neighbors you'll have will actually, even the busybodies, well, even those ones that do, the old lady that will call the cops on you or whatever too. Some of them too, they do that because they have a relative like a cousin or a relative like I speak of. Yeah, they have a relative like a grandson like that, a son like that, a daughter like that, or whatever, a nephew like that. And maybe they call the cops on their neighbor because they're jealous because they're looking for something wrong on you. Got those on out there too. They're looking to hoping to find wrong in you, have you followed by the police? But yeah, the police do follow a trail though. They might covertly watch you a little bit, but they know about that part of identity fraud, when they want to go and look for a repeat offender that's like always on drugs or whatever. And if they see, and even if they try to use your name, you know what I mean, other ways, yeah, they'll use your name because they have a seething mind. They want to take you down with them. But yeah, they also do it too. They think they're covering their trail, but the police ain't stupid. Yeah, like as I was getting at, the police will be covertly looking at you, but they know that trick too. So I'm talking about them tricks they do. Yeah, it's a trick. They'll try to cover their ass, divert. They think they're going to divert the police to somebody else they're jealous of. The police know that game too. They'll check on you a little bit, but they know that that's a classic trick. The police ain't stupid. They know that shit too. You know what I mean? But yeah, these people that coddle these people too are in the churches. Some of the churches have a rehab place. Well, hell, I never talked to my mother in 10 years too. Certain ways we didn't get along over religion, but she told me herself a church that she stopped going to. I think religion actually caused her to scream, swear, and chain smoke even more. But yeah, she was right at a church that supposedly had a rehab program. They're smoking pot right outside there, and my mother mentioned something about it to somebody over there, and they told her literally to mind her own business. They did talk down to her too, even after she was giving the church a bunch of money. But so some rehabs, even inside whether it's a rehab inside the church or a rehab institution, it's just a cover for enabling them. You can't keep the drugs out of that place. And like I said too, you got former governors in my state, Pennsylvania, that actually openly runs and allows an injection center where anybody that wants to go have heroin injected for them can come right over there. There's the dangers of that too. If you have a son and daughter that had never been in trouble, just got low self-esteem and trouble at school, and they meet up with some junkie kid somewhere, and the junkie kids want to find the other kids with lower self-esteem and try to befriend them unknowingly and then nudge them to go try drugs, you know what I mean? So yeah, watch your sons and daughters, especially daughters or girls, whether it's some crackhead dude or another junkie girl out there. Yeah, target the other girls with low self-esteem or whatever too, and drag them in. So that's a totally different subject matter. But anyway, yeah, before I end this here, I'm just rambling. I'll be a little bit more here, but yeah, it ain't always about money. And this is something that they don't want you to know. If you say any of this shit about any kind of addicts or even ex-addicts, yeah, a lot of ex-addicts, they do defend the lifestyle. They do not. You get a lot of them that'll outright, they don't think the lifestyle is even wrong, and you'll be politely chastised saying you're judging people, you know what I mean too. But yeah, a lot of these people out there that are addicts, or even ex-addicts, they have seething minds, and they don't want to steal your. If they can't steal your money, they're already gonna kind of steal your reputation or whatever, and go around and use your name other kind of ways to. And I'll say once again, their relatives and everybody and all their friends who coddle them are actually completely okay with it, because they have seething minds and they think you're high and mighty. You're too high and mighty. They don't like that you're doing better than they are. And I'll go as far as to saying a lot of your social workers that claim that are supposed to be there to help addicts and counsel addicts, these social workers, some of them are, if you corner them, some of them won't outright admit it. Some of them will admit it in so many words that some of them, just because they're social workers and counselors, that does not mean that they are looking to reform or get these people off of addictions. And a matter of fact, if they could stop people from getting addicted, they wouldn't have a fucking job. So these people who are counselors counseling these addicts, they have a seething mind against anybody who's doing well, because some of them are very liberal, and they're all, not just because it's part of their job, they're friends, and they actually will put these junkies above actual people, like they'll put these junkies over that neighbors down the street with a nice car and nice house and kids doing good. A lot of them, all associated in that culture, under the guise of even stopping or curbing addiction or counseling, they actually, under the guise, they actually hate you. They hate you with a passion. And a lot of them are pushing towards legalization of all that. The only reason why they want to counsel anybody, because even legal substances like alcohol, people commit crimes and lose jobs and steal or whatever too. And the system is backlogged. Court systems are backlogged or whatever too. But anyway, yeah. To not ramble here, these people literally believe that whether it's with tax money or even without paying taxes, they would like to take whatever you have in your pocket and redistribute to these people every time they fuck up, literally. They, even the ones that are supposedly rehabbing them, some of them are very liberal, and they hate you for doing well. They think you're a mean, selfish person, and that these people are victims. That every time they ask for something, you're supposed to give it to them. And, you know, if they would have their way, it would be like a communist, narco-communist country, you know, just no more cops coming if they rob you. I mean, come right to your house and confiscate property. Everybody is the same. Nobody is allowed to have more than anybody else. Nobody have anything too extravagant. I mean, because that culture already among each other, who pretends to reform themselves because they have to put on their face because the court system made them to, they literally believe that in their clique that they actually defend, they believe that nobody should have anything. Everybody should be in their clique and give up what they have. If you have anything, you should sell it to get drugs for your friends. And if you're not in that clique, you're just automatically selfish. That's what it is. They don't believe the drug use is wrong. They defend the drug use. They want it all legalized. They hate you. As a matter of fact, they want you. As a matter of fact, they actually think that if you have any empathy at all, you should be down with them. That your self-esteem and your sense of self-esteem, personal sovereignty, and everything else about you is considered bigoted and selfish to them. It's the upside down, backwards version of the religious version of humbling yourself. Like, say you got the very condescending people that want you to humble yourself to Jesus Christ, where they got all these fancy cars and everything else. The total backwards side is to humbling yourself. Don't really like religion, and you're supposed to humble yourself so you don't hurt anybody's feelings. And if you refuse to do that, maybe the local badasses that sell them their drugs should give you a good talking to and tell you where your place is, or beat you up for disrespecting them or whatever. Yeah, the new thought police that's in competition with the police with the badge. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, get me started on that. I could go all day about that, but I won't.